Welcome to Africa channel. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to help us.
In Lexus SUV lineup, it used to be the larger the SUV, the truckier it drove and the less useful its interior. Beyond the midsize, car-based RX crossover, the GX and LX were the only ways to get a third-row seat and a Lexus badge, excepting the RXL, a half-baked three-row RX you'd be forgiven for first learning about here. The RXL's utility as a three-row was equivalent to someone donning a baby carrier, sticking their kid in it, and deeming themselves a two-row SUV. The GX and LX aren't much better suited for school drop-offs or Costco runs. Both body-on-frame, properly four-wheel drive rigs are adapted from global Toyota 4x4s. Hulking though they are, their rugged frames, transfer cases, live rear axles, and big V8 engines leave only meager space inside for, people and stuff. The all-new three-row, mid-size 2024 Lexus TX SUV solves these little bugaboos, finally offering buyers a practical step up from an RX and a Lexus alternative to the Acura MDX and Infiniti QX60. The new 2024 Lexus TX's boxy shell is adapted not from a burly 4x4 but from the car-based Toyota Grand Highlander, and also new this year, much-needed large-scale upgrade from the regular Highlander and its too-tight third-row seat. With no separate frame or hardcore off-roading hardware eating up floor space and a transversely arranged powertrain in its snoot, the TX has a low floor, rear seats that fold flat to form a consistent load surface from tailgate to the front seats, and plenty of vertical cabin space in all three rows. The driving experience is likewise nothing like those of the GX or LX, even if the handsome styling borrows liberally, and successfully, from the LX's playbook. Even with that new-look grille that's sort of not a grille on the nose. Lexus offers the TX with 3 powertrain options, all of which, it should be noted, can tow up to 5,000 pounds. The expected volume seller is the Lexus TX 350, which uses a 275 horsepower turbocharged 2.4-liter i4 and an 8-speed automatic transmission with front or all-wheel drive. Next up is the TX 500hF Sport Performance Hybrid, which combines the same turbo engine with an electric motor between it and a 6-speed automatic transmission. That combo powers the front wheels, though, a second electric motor independently powers the rear axle. Total output for the TX 500h is a strong 366 horsepower and 406 pounds-to-foot of torque, while fuel economy numbers rise from an estimated 20 to 21.26 to 27.23 of a mile per gallon city/highway/ combined in the TX 350s to 27/28.27 of a mile per gallon. Finally, lording over the lineup is the TX 550h Plus, a plug-in hybrid blending a 3.5-liter V6 and 2 electric motors via a planetary continuously variable automatic transmission on the front axle and a third electric motor spinning the rear wheels for a total of 404 horsepower. Its lithium-ion battery also affords it up to 33 miles of EV-only driving range, while overall fuel economy rises to 29/28.29 of a mile per gallon city/highway/ combined. Each powertrain lends the 2024 Lexus TX a unique flavor, with the TX 350s tasting the most conventional. The TX 500h's F Sport Performance branding lands it on the sporty end of Lexus tuning spectrum, with 22-inch low-profile tires, firmed-up electronically variable dampers, rear-wheel steering, and better bolstered front seats. Lexus also restricts the TX 500h to a 6-seat configuration with second-row captain's chairs that are optional in the otherwise 7-seat, with a second-row bench, TX 350 and TX 550h Plus models. The TX 350 is available in 3 grades: Standard, Premium, and Luxury. The TX 500h is only available in Premium and Luxury guises, while the TX 550h Plus only comes in Top Dog Luxury spec. For more on the pricing, visit our deep dive here. Every Lexus TX drives with an unexpected firmness, and we're not restricting that descriptor to the ride quality. The steering and brake pedal move with a syrupy stiffness that's well matched to the button-down suspension. Now, whether customers expect a 3-row, family-oriented luxury SUV to ride firmly is another thing. On the TX 350s, which use conventional fixed-rate dampers with no adjustability, the ride is acceptable and well-controlled, nicely balanced between comfort and handling if on the firmer side. The TX 550h Plus's suspension is also non-adjustable and rides similarly. The TX 500hF Sport Performance, however, is almost too firm. Its adaptive dampers also don't manage rebound action as well as the other TX's fixed units. Traversing loping bumps in the TX 500h sends the body skyward, a sensation of float that isn't present in the other, less sporty variants. Meanwhile, you feel bumps more severely in the TX 500h, despite there not being much of a handling payoff from the suspension's extra stiffness. The TX500H owes most of its handling improvements, and there are definite improvements, to its 22-inch wheels wrapped in Continental tires, the same tires available with different 22-inch wheels on the TX350 and TX550H Plus, as well as the rear wheel steering function. If this hardware sounds familiar, it's because the smaller RX500HF Sport Performance crossover also has it. Here, on the larger TX, the rear steer chops the SUV's turning circle to compact car size, making U-turns or parking maneuvers a snap. In more spirited driving scenarios, it helps swing the TX's butt around corners more eagerly. With 366 horsepower, the TX500H can get moving, though it doesn't feel any quicker than, say, the 355 horsepower Acura MDX Type S, the performance step-up for the MDX family. Yet every TX steers with accuracy and enjoys good brake pedal response, with a firm action. Again, the everyday TX350 feels the most cohesive, even if its 275 horsepower engine is merely acceptable in a vehicle this size. The better news is that every TX is notably quiet going down the road, even on Texas rough, aggregate-style road surfaces and pressed concrete freeways. Tire noise is virtually non-existent. It might not out-athlete an MDX, the sportiest among the front-wheel drive-based luxury SUVs out there, but it's definitely polished and better rounded. For ultimate smoothness, spring for the yet-to-be-priced but sure-to-be expensive TX550H Plus plug-in hybrid, which follows the other TXs to market next year. While the 4-cylinder TXs, hybrid included, can speak with a gravelly voice when you really press the accelerator hard, the 6 is smooth and croons with more refinement. That's if the V6 is running at all. Remember, the plug-in can go extended periods on electric power alone, at least when set to automatically choose between hybrid or electric-only power. Opt for EV-only mode with a fully charged battery, and you can sail on electrons alone for up to 31 miles before the engine kicks on. Regardless of where the power comes from, it's blended like a smoothie in Toyota's tried-and-true planetary transmission, which works like a differential, taking inputs from the gas V6, a starter generator, and a drive motor and combining them any which way. For example, an EV charge button lets you keep the engine running, which, even while the TX is moving, can spin that generator and charge the battery, even as the electric drive motor helps your forward progress. The third motor on the rear axle kicks in during low traction situations, for de facto all-wheel drive, and under full throttle for maximum output. Yes, the TX550H Plus has 404 horsepower, but it feels about as quick as the 366 horsepower TX500H hybrid. That's what the extra mass of the larger battery, a V6, and the rest of that more complex hybrid setup will do to acceleration. But we'd consider buying the plug-in for its buttery overall operation and nice, muted V6 noises, not to mention its decent EV-only range. It's the most Lexus-like of all 3 TX variants, but its value will hinge on where Lexus lands on pricing. The priciest TX500HF Sport Performance already runs $72,650 sans options, making $80,000 a possibility for the TX550H Plus's MSRP. And a happy twist, the 2024 Lexus TX is quite practical, not always a guarantee in the luxury variants of mainstream SUVs. In this case, the TX is spun off Toyota's Grand Highlander, the Acura MDX is a Honda Pilot and nicer duds, and the Infiniti QX60 is a Nissan Pathfinder similarly spruced up. Very little of the Toyota's interior utility is papered, or should we say, leathered, over, with storage and thoughtful, and family-oriented touches throughout. Even the third-row seats enjoy padded, stitched leather, or faux leather, on base TX 350s, armrests and cup holders, phone and tablet slots, USB ports, and overhead air vents. Adults can ride back there comfortably, too, with plenty of head and legroom, provided the second-row occupants don't slide their seats all the way back or recline their backrests to their maximum. We only wish the rearmost cushion height was a little higher off the floor. No such reservations attach themselves to the second-row chairs, which are perched nice and high and offer lots of legroom ahead, even without sliding the cushions to their farthest rearward positions. Plenty of adjustments are available, including a manual recline and a single button press pop and slide function for opening access to the third row through the side doors. On nicer trims, the third row seats power fold and recline, too. Unusually for a 3-row in this class, there's decent cargo space even with the third row seats raised, 20.2 cubic feet, and Lexus claims 7 carry-on roller suitcases can fit, and folding the third row expands that to 57.4 cubic feet. Fold the second row seats, too, and you get a massive 97 cubic feet of space. These are full-size SUV numbers more in line with a regular length Cadillac Escalade than, say, the Infiniti QX60, whose cargo numbers are 14.5 cubic feet with the third row up, 41.6 with it lowered, and 75.4 with both rear rows flattened. Those figures in the MDX are 16.339.1/71.4 cubic feet. Flexibility is built in, too, with a removable rear seat center console on 6-seater models. Lexus even includes a neat black bag in the trunk for storing it, though it looks like a kidnapping hood, and reconfigurable cup holders that can pop out and be rearranged in both that console and the front center console. Some will bemoan the 2024 Lexus TX's obvious mechanical associations with the less expensive, just as well executed Toyota Grand Highlander. That SUV is indeed an excellent entrant in the competitive midsize 3-row SUV class, but it's also beside the point. The Lexus model not only feels well differentiated inside and out, but it also exists to serve customers who wouldn't be caught dead in a Toyota, or who already own a Lexus, likely an RX, and want or need to upgrade to something bigger to accommodate a growing family. Its price is on the high side compared to the QX60 and MDX, but the Lexus also is notably larger while offering the same car-based ride and handling benefits. The TX 350 is the obvious sweet spot in the lineup, given it can be equipped with 7 seats and all the luxury goodies you could want. We're not sure who the TX 500HF Sport Performance Hybrid might be for. It's sportier than the other TXs, but as with the smaller RX 500HF Sport Performance Hybrid, is Lexus really the expected destination for shoppers looking for a performance-tuned family SUV? And are there customers looking for a hot-to-trot 3-row with the interior functionality of a minivan? The TX 550H Plus's lack of sporting pretense pulls it ahead of the TX 500H in our books, as it delivers similar quickness but with the TX 350's less flinty ride and available 7-seat configuration, plus usable electric-only driving range. Crowded powertrain lineup aside, the TX is the first Lexus SUV you'll want to buy for its third row. Lexus could have cleared that low bar by building virtually anything not based on a truck platform and calling it a day, but instead it turned out a thoughtfully designed, quiet, and roomy hauler blending a luxury badge with mainstream practicality better than anything else in the segment.
We have come to the end of the video. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel to help us.